Hey everyone. uh hello guys. So anyways, I was saying that you might have read the title, but I'm basically doing part 2 of my draw anything challenge that I said in the last video. And basically, if you haven't watched the last video, I'm not really going to explain like the entire deal again that much, but I'll briefly explain that. I basically asked my Instagram followers, like I put a prompt up on my story for them to respond to and ask me to draw anything they want me to draw, like basically mention what they want me to draw and the medium they want me to draw in. So what happened was, this was last year, okay, like I thought I had summer vacations and I thought I would just complete everything last year, but like I just couldn't complete all of the paintings. There were 25 responses, from which I won't be doing like 5-10 because like yeah that's like I told my friends, like most of the responses were from my friends, right, like maximum of them. So I told them that I can't do this, like I don't think I can. Okay, like basically there was some explicit stuff and other stuff which I didn't want to draw. So either way, last time in the video I mentioned that I was doing it in order, right? I was doing all the responses, all the painting responses in order, but last year when I finished the 4 of them and when I was doing the other 4, after I completed 3 paintings, I went on the 4th. Like I realized I had to really push myself into like completing the painting. Like I just wasn't able to bring myself together to like complete it. And so I decided to go out of order and do the prompt that interests me the most. The problem was that all the prompts are good, obviously, but like sometimes you're not in the mood of doing a specific prompt. So that's what happened. I skipped certain responses and I went straight to some that interested me the most. So like at this point I'm just doing it out of order. And last year what happened was, at first I thought that I would do 5 paintings at a time, then make a video on it, then reveal all the paintings at once. But what happened was that I did only 4 in the first go, because those 4 itself took me weeks to complete. So like I just thought I'll just make one immediately, dude, like it doesn't matter. So I did that, and I thought I would do 5 after that, like 5 from then onwards. So I did 4. And when I was doing the 5th one, I just couldn't bring myself together to like complete it. I just wasn't able to complete it last year. Like I completed it this year. So like at that time I wanted to do continue with 5, right? But then I realized I'll just stick to 4, even though I completed the 5th painting. It just be uniform, and the video 4 one itself was so long. It would take even longer if I do 5, so I just stuck to 4. And moreover, like I had decided that I would stick to 4 like months ago, and didn't realize, like I just forgot that I had already finished 4 paintings. Otherwise I would have released the video a long time ago. So let's move forward to the first painting. So the prompt was Annabelle with pencil colors. I'll put everything over here for you guys to see, and the prompt and all. Man, I'm a bad speaker. Look at this. This is the painting. Yeah. Oh wait, let me tell you something. I accidentally drew it upside down, like compared to my sketchbook. My sketchbook faces this way, and I did it upside down. No, you don't have to look at this. This is the 5th painting. I mean, I did share it on my story and it's on my highlights, so it doesn't matter. But like, yeah, you get my point. So this was my first painting after that. So yeah, I accidentally drew it upside down. Anyways, I chose to draw on the non-texturous side because like I had learned from my lesson, because that color pencils like won't at all go on the textured side, because the problem is like it's not textured in a sense, like it's rough. It has hashes on it. Like I showed you in the previous video that like it literally has hashes on it. Look at it. So like I chose to do it on this side, but like there was one more thing, that the back side of the paper was for some reason weaker than the other side of the paper. Like it usually is, but like still, like if I was erasing something, sometimes bits and pieces of paper came off too. So that was one problem. And okay, first of all, you would have noticed that on the story, the painting looked much neater than it does over here. And that's because, okay, I have two stories. So what happened was that I did a painting behind this. Like afterwards, after I completed this. And I did a painting behind this, so this seeped through. And because I did a painting beside this, because I was doing the painting like while keeping my notebook like this, like an insensible person, some of the splashes came on this too. So like later when I realized that it's getting splashed this way, I just covered it with a thicker piece of paper so like it won't get through it. But like yeah, it took me a few minutes, maybe half an hour, before I realized it was splashing over here. So that happened. And today I don't have much to say because like I explained most of the things in the last video, and moreover it's been so long since I made these, I have forgotten what all happened while I was painting this and what all did I want to say while I was painting these. So this was color pencils, and my wait, I have a whole box of color pencils, like a whole box in a sense, like all color pencils that I've ever owned since I was a kid in one single box. Like because I don't want to waste any of them. So they're all of different brands, like some is Camlin, some of them is Staedtler, some of them is literally like domes and stuff. So they're all different brands. So especially Camel isn't a good brand for color pencils, and it doesn't come out that bright on paper, and you can't layer it that well. Even Faber-Castell, even though Faber-Castell's color pencils are amazing, they still can't be layered too many times because they're kind of too waxy. I'm not sure like what to call it, but like they're basically too waxy. Like so like a second color does not really layer on top of it already being on there usually. So it was hard to, I didn't mean to do the hair this shade. I obviously wanted to try and mimic the real one as much as I could, right? But like so like I had first put a basic layer which I thought would be a good base, on top of which I could do the other layers, but like the other layers just couldn't come on it that deep, so I just ended up doing like a different color because I had already put a base on it. And so I just did the hair with the base color, which was yellow and then a shade of brown, I think, but sienna or something like that. So that happened. This one, like you would have noticed the date. This one took me a while in a sense. Like it didn't take me like it didn't actually take me every day since then, but like I took way too many breaks to finish this one. So that's why like because it was so frustrating. Like I was just getting stuck, like okay, this didn't go as I planned, like what do I do now, that kind. Oh, by the way, this hair I did learn from my mistake, and I thought because this was supposed to be dark in the first place, I thought I'll just do it dark, like super dark in the first layer itself, and then I just couldn't get any shade on top of it, so like it ended up looking like a mess. Like it doesn't even look like hair. Like there's supposed to be a girl over here, like whose hair is visible, who Annabelle is staring, so it doesn't even look like hair, dude. So yeah, that's it for this one. Let's move ahead to the second painting. So the next prompt was, after the Annabelle prompt, like this was in order. It was pencil rough sketch of any character of your favorite series. So Okay, so first I thought of drawing Drew from Pokemon, because he's my favorite character in Pokemon, including Gary and Iris. Still Drew a little bit more, I think. But so I thought I would draw Drew, and Pokemon is a series, so yeah. But then I suddenly recalled that Miles Morales exists, and I don't know if you know this, I love Miles Morales. I love Miles Morales. Like, he was the reason I became a Spider-Man fan. Like, I can't even describe how much I love Miles Morales. Just like, he surpasses every character I have ever had favorite in. Like, dude, what is even Drew in front of Miles Morales? No, nothing. And technically, I try to explain myself that I try to convince myself that Spider-Man is technically a series, because there's Into the Spider-Verse, then there's Across the Spider-Verse, and there's going to be a Beyond the Spider-Verse. So like, I convinced myself that Miles Morales is counted, so I did Miles Morales. Let me show it to you. I probably already showed it in the story over here, but where are you, Miles Morales? Yeah! Look at this! A pencil sketch. Because it was supposed to be just a pencil sketch and of a character, not like characters from Panchayat which need details. I mean, like, Miles Morales in a big scale, I won't have trouble drawing Miles Morales details on texture paper basically. So I did him on textured paper instead of the blank side. It would have been easy, it wouldn't have been hard. Moreover, the Panchayat one I did, I think it was Sachiv Ji, and I forgot the character name soon. But yeah, one more, like the two characters, human faces would have been much harder to draw that small on the textured paper, so I did them on the blank side. And moreover, I was thinking of shading them too, so like, yeah, even though I did not shade them that much, so blank side was understandable. So, but over here, the texture, it didn't matter, so I just did it. Okay, so alright, I'll stick the reference pictures and stuff. Like, it is, all of this would keep coming, like, don't worry about that. But anyways, so I need to explain my love for Spider-Man because of Miles Morales. Okay, so I used to watch Spider-Man as a kid. There was this cartoon, like, which had Spider-Man and this fire girl and Iceman, something like that. I used to watch that. Don't come at me for that. Like, I was a kid. Okay. So, and I had watched a couple movies of Spider-Man as a kid, but I had never been a fan of it. I was just like a casual enjoyer of Spider-Man. But then Dan Didion played PS4 Spider-Man. Dude, I fell in love with Spider-Man. Like, Miles hasn't come into picture yet, but like, I fell in love with Spider-Man. Absolutely fell in love with. Like, the story was so great. It was so awesome. Dude, like, I can't even describe how much I liked it. And Miles was a character I really liked. Like, he wasn't Spider-Man in the first one, right? But like, I really like, dude, I swear to God, why are the game stories so much better than the actual movies most of the time? It was such a, I think one of the reasons is because it's so much longer. But like, dude, I literally fell in love with Spider-Man. And yeah, and then PS5 Spider-Man came with Miles Morales, and I really loved Miles Morales, dude. But the movie Into the Spider-Verse came first, which was awesome, and that was the reason when I started really loving Miles Morales. Even though Miles hadn't fully become a Spider-Man in the first one, he had just discovered he had been bitten and he had some instincts and powers. So Into the Spider-Verse made me fall in love with Miles, and then I watched Across the Spider-Verse when it came out. It was awesome, dude. It was awesome. And dude, the Spider-Man PS5 game, the Spider-Man 2 PS5 game, all of them were awesome, dude. Like, the Spider-Man PS5 game was still like short. It was like kind of a character development story more like than like a proper story. Like it was quite short and quite cliche. So like yeah, still fine. But like PS5 Spider-Man 2, that was marvelous, dude. That was marvelous. I loved it, dude. Dan didn't be playing both of the characters. It was awesome, dude. I think I'm done ranting about ranting. Like I'm done talking about Spider-Man. Dude, I can just keep talking about Miles Morales. Like he's so awesome, and Gwen Stacy is also awesome. You know, so like yeah. So Peter Parker is also awesome, obviously. So let's go on the third prompt, and I was still doing it in order. The third prompt is I'll display it over here. Have you seen Weathering with You? So a friend of mine asked me if I've seen Weathering with You. I haven't, and then he gave me freedom of medium. So I did the painting. This is my favorite out of these four. Annabelle is also really my favorite. Miles Morales is also my favorite. But like, I feel like I did it. Actually, I'm not sure what my favorite is. I liked all of them like kind of equally. But this is probably one which was neater. Like more neater than the other ones. So I guess that was what made me feel like it was awesome. But I had done John Wick on the other side of it because so like some of the black pastel came on this side, so like it's still not super neat. But I did this on the texture side because like, you know, paint just seeps in, and it did seep in there. You know, like there are no white spots like unlike the other paintings, and I loved it actually. It was really fun making it. There is a reference picture to it which I would attach over here. I slightly changed it because that looked like a fan art once again. So I wanted to like show some significance. Like I drew more tornadoes and stuff. I drew tornadoes naturally. The one I attached here, they kind of look like pasted. Tornado. Wanted the tornadoes to blend in. So I did it like this and this. I really loved it. This is lovely. I still look at this and I'm like, wow. And I did it with gouache because of freedom of medium. And dude, it was because usually the thing is, until now I mostly use gouache for stuff you shouldn't be using it for. Like it's not like completely I used it for something that I shouldn't be using it for, but like it wasn't the general thing you would usually use gouache for. But this one screams gouache. This is exactly how usually people paint with gouache. Kind of cartoony. The thing is, gouache does not merge properly unless it's wet, right? As soon as it dries, and if you try to put 1% of a drop of water on it, it will start to come off the paper rather than merging with each other. If you have to merge, you would have to merge it while it's wet. So usually people just don't do it because it just comes off the paper and then it ruins it. But that's how I used gouache in this one. I did not do much of merging in most places, only in some of the places where it was freshly wet. Yeah, this one was the one I painted behind Annabelle. The reason it seeped in, wait, let me show it to you. This is this painting. This is Annabelle. Seeped in. The below part seeped in. The only thing I couldn't do that well was the tree, because the problem was when I started to paint the tree, right, I didn't realize I should give strokes in all directions. What I was doing was I took the paintbrush and I was just doing this on random, so like it looks like leaves. But like, if I'm doing this is all the leaves, it feels like they're all in one direction. So I have to do it like this, and I have to do it slightly more organized than random, because trees aren't lumps. And if I do this, it feels solid instead of transparent, because trees aren't solid. It's not like a bunch of leaves clumped together. It's like branches, and because there are so many leaves, it just looks filled, but it's not filled, right? So like if I do that, it looks solid. It was too late for me to realize. So like it still looks kind of in one direction, but then I did the clumping thing where I did it in all direction and I put a bunch of those in different places. And yeah, it wasn't looking transparent, right, because of the mistake I made. So I just painted blue over it, so it does look transparent slightly, but it turned fine. Like I just realized soon enough to not have it look that bad. So yeah, so let's move to the next picture. So the next painting I meant, this was when I went out of order. Like I was just done do, like, you know, the 5th painting I did, like I put it on my story. I started that because that was in order, but like I just wasn't able to do it. Understandably so, because like I was using figures which I had never thought what it would look like from this angle. But like now that I know engineering drawing better than what was taught in NIT, I was able to understand like how to perfectly make it and perfectly look like it's a regular hexagon. So I did it out of order, and I thought I would take the prompt from my best friend because his prompt was really interesting, even though the painting overall ended up really bad. The prompt was, draw Spider-Man Noir in charcoal, it will look cool AF. So that's what I did. Here, let me take it out. Spider-Man Noir. Wait, I used Spider-Man Noir. Wait, where did I do it? Oh yeah, it was up. Yay! So basically, I realized that I'm not really that good at charcoal. So actually the main mistake I made was that I made a mistake of doing charcoal on textured paper. I thought it would be fine, but actually, considering the fact how the blank side looks, the charcoal wouldn't have suited either sides, to be fair. Like, it's not like the texture paper was the mistake. I don't have the charcoal sticks. I was using normal, like the charcoal pencils you get from Camel, I think. Camel or Camel. Those are kind of really much more, because they need to be held, right? The pencil needs to hold it. So those are and if you sharpen it shouldn't be breaking like charcoal sticks does. So those are much more hard. Like, even though there's a range of soft, medium, hard, the softest one was still soft enough to like scrape my paper. Like the paper was just literally coming off when I was like doing darkening and shit. So yeah, it didn't turn out as good as I thought. Like I wish it turned out better, but like I guess I'm really bad at charcoal pencils, even though I think I would have been able to do it with charcoal sticks. When I was small, I had a charcoal stick and I kept it for a really long time until my mom threw it away. I did one charcoal painting as a kid. I was a kid, but it still turned out better than this. Yeah, so I could have done better with charcoal sticks. Now I won't be talking more about Spider-Man, obviously, because I've already told you enough. But yeah, Spider-Man Noir was one of my favorite characters from Into the Spider-Verse. To be fair, all of the characters, everything was awesome. No, like I can't even say that I liked one more than the other. Even though Miles Morales is an exception. The problem is that charcoal can't really even be erased, right? The charcoal smudged all over the paper and I couldn't erase it before I could apply the pack. Like, while painting itself, it happened that way that I couldn't do anything. Like, I signed up to my fate group and yeah, so it smudged all over and then I had to apply the pack and it didn't work out that well. It's ironic because I was so excited about this prompt. Oh well, I guess that's it for today's video. I'm done. I think I'm done telling you everything I wanted to tell you. Yeah, the 5th painting is the treehouse one. You'll see it in my highlights. Alright guys, bye bye.